The 32nd Annual Heart Ball is just around the corner on February 9th, and here to give us all the information that we need to know is Mr. Glenn Morris. Good morning, Glenn.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us.
Sure, thanks for having me.
All right, so you and your lovely wife are the chairs this year, is
That's
that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so tell us a little bit how you first got involved with this event.
Well, there's a little history. Suzanne, my wife, is a nurse and worked on a heart floor and knew a lot about it. And I got involved with the Heart Association when one of my coworkers' wife, when they were giving birth to their second son, she had a major heart issue and almost passed away.
Wow.
And so it struck that family so deeply that to be around him, when we found out what all the AHA did as far as education, you just couldn't help but buy in and be a part of that. I think it's phenomenal.
All right, so tell us what we need to know about the American Heart Association. I think a lot of people know it as a household name, but maybe they're not quite sure of what they're able to provide our community.
Well, the American Heart Association is the largest voluntary organization that deals with education and lifestyle choices with the heart. Most everything you know, this is what I tell people. You learn about your heart two ways: one, through the AHA, and two, looking up at your cardiologist when something's gone wrong. Right. So everything you know that's preventative, you've pretty much learned by the Heart Association, by their spreading out the knowledge. All CPR training is AHA. They helped come up with that. Research for the stent, for the people's heart, all that research was done by the American Heart Association. Heart disease is pretty much the #1 killer in this country, and their goal is to completely eradicate that, over time.
And speaking of heart disease, we have a few numbers for the Chattanooga area, and I'm trying to see if there was a date on when this was published, but 24.1% of people in Chattanooga area have died from heart disease. You know, 6.5%. I mean, you can see the numbers there on the screen, and that's here in our backyard.
Right.
So this is why events like the Heart Ball are making such a big difference.
That's correct.
All right, so tell us, what do we need to know about Mr. Will Hunt, this year's honoree?
Well, Will Hunt is a high schooler. I think this is his senior year at Macaulay. He was walking to class and walking up and started having shortness of breath. And he's an extraordinary athlete. He's on a cheer squad that's nationally ranked, and started having breathing issues. So he went to the doctor to see what the problem was at that age. And at the end of the day, they flew him to Vanderbilt for a major heart operation. And he is our honoree this year. The Heart Association, that the Heart Ball picks an honoree each year, because we all talk about what the heart, like what you did, what the Heart Association does, and it all sounds, very great, and it is. But when you realize how people are affected by heart disease, how it can happen to people that we don't realize it would happen to. It's not, you don't pick the person that has the heart problem. It's thousands of people who don't see it's coming. They're healthy. Oh, how could this happen?
Right.
Like this young man. The artery last year was a young girl who was a young mother in her mid-20s that had a stroke. Nobody saw this, and so every year someone is picked because we want everybody to, the people of Chattanooga, to see that this isn't just an organization that reaches out. This is an organization that touches people's lives.
It makes things more tangible,
right?
And that's what we need a lot of times in this world.
Yeah.
All right, so the Heart Ball is going to be coming up February 9th. Are tickets still available?
Tickets are still available. Go to ChattanoogaHeartBall.org.
Perfect.
And
what can we look forward to at this event, other than Chip? But
well, I mean, after Chip, that's kind of it. I mean, everybody's going to go, oh, well, that's it. There is a band. There is dancing. It's a celebration. It really is more of a celebration than a ball because of what people are doing. It's a wonderful night for Chattanooga.
We're celebrating life, right?
And there's also an after party where people can go a little before the event and enjoy themselves. So there's two different a ticket price for that.
Perfect.
That people might enjoy. You got to remember it's near Valentine's Day, so it's a night out.
Hey, perfect date night.
Exactly. It really is.
Kill two birds with one stone on that one.
Exactly.
Right? All right, perfect. So tickets are available online?
Yes.
All right, so the address that I have.
The phone number too is all on ChattanoogaHeartBall.com. You can find the phone number.
Perfect. I was going to say ChattanoogaHeartBall.com. All of that information is available. You can call to get tickets, and it looks like you still need a few sponsors if somebody wants to sponsor as well.
We're always glad to have sponsors. We're always glad to have people come in and chip in and help out with that. It would be wonderful.
Right,
Pardon the pun on chipping in, but that's what we're looking for. Yeah.
That was a good one. I like it. All right, Mr. Morris, thanks so much for joining us. I know
you.
We'll talk to you again leading into the event as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, we'll be right back on Let's Chat.